Hi, coaches. Wanted to check in for this week's practice plan. We have the 8 to 9 a.m. time slot both days. The beginning of this week, we're going to do our skating with 6 tires. So a few different patterns that we'll skate. We have the peanut drill, which you can see here. Remember, on the inside cone, you're focusing on really utilizing those edges. One thing I talk about when doing the peanut drill is making sure they're keeping their shoulders parallel and not kind of leaning one way or the other. It allows them to transition quickly one way to the next. Then you can have them move the tires into the 3 cones into a triangle and do more of a figure 8. And then you can also do kind of a double circle pattern. All the while, again, making sure we're working on forwards, backwards, crossovers, transitions, and continue to do things with and without pucks. All right. Then we are going to do things a little different. We're going to do 2 stations for the first rotation, so 10 minutes each like we have been doing. But then we're going to end with 2 full group 10-minute drills. Okay, but for the first 2 stations, I decided to go 2 different one-on-ones. One thing that I noticed that we really can work on is, and I've heard from multiple coaches, is just getting the kids to shoot a little bit quicker and a little bit more. So this first drill is going to be similar to a shooting drill we did last week, where the kids are going to line up in a line here, and we had a coach in front. The difference with this one is the first player in line, we're going to have them step out, and they're going to be the defenseman. The second player in line is going to be at the blue line. They're going to be the forward, okay, and they have the puck. So rather than a coach here, it's going to be a player this time. Okay, here's what's going to happen. Player with the puck, the forward, is going to skate in, and they have 3 choices. They can either take a screenshot through the player, like through their legs, okay? Or they can come in and make a move to the inside or this way. But as soon as they pass by that defenseman, they're going to shoot. Or they can make a move to the outside this way and take a shot. For the beginning, this kid is kind of like a stationary cone with their triangles stick out, and they're just kind of making the kid move one way or the other. So again, this first player has to get a shot. Now, after they release that puck, they are going to crash to the net to try to score on a rebound. The defenseman is going to come back and play it. So it turns into a 1v1, but again, it's right off of this quick shot, and then they're attacking the net. So if you have a goalie, this one's a little hard because we're going to be doing 2 different one-on-ones. So we probably want a goalie in here to be able to stop that first shot. If not, try to get something in there to give out a rebound. Okay, one of the little passing things or a wood block or something. Okay, now one thing, if this first player happens to score on that shot, or let's say they shoot, rebound, the D doesn't get back, and they shoot right away and score. If that first puck isn't played out at all, then I just want the coach to throw another puck in and let them play the second one to the net. Okay, so if the first puck they play out for a while, then it's just one-on-one. But if, again, that first puck goes in fairly quickly, then you can throw them another puck to play a second one-on-one. In this one, the forward stays the forward the whole time. Okay, making sure that when they come back, they're doing something different. All right, so that's the first thing. The second one, as we look at this, it's going to be a one-on-one race for the puck. They're going to start in the Superman position. So that just means starting on their stomach. And this one's a little different in the sense of, so we're over here, so we'll have X's here and X's here, coach in the middle, coach is throwing that puck out, net down here. They're starting on their stomach, so make sure that maybe the first person is on the blue line and make sure the other kids are back far enough so they're not in the way. So when the coach throws in the puck, they both race for the puck. Okay, so it's a one-on-one race to the puck. Whoever gets it first is trying to score. So let's say this red arrow gets the puck. They're trying to score, and the purple one is trying to take it away. As soon as this one is on defense, their goal is to try to skate it out past the tops of the circles. Okay, so they're trying to just skate it out. Red is trying to score, the other is trying to stop them and get the puck out. Now, this one is 2 different one-on-ones, and this is the confusing part, so you'll have to explain it really well. When you blow the whistle, so I do want the coach blowing the whistle to help with the confusion. When the whistle is blowing, this purple one, who was the defense, is going to come back out up top, and they're going to pick up a second puck. The red player is going to gap up, and now they're defense. So there's two different one-on-ones. If you win the first race, you're forward first. But if you're playing defense first for that second puck, it's the defense that picks it up and goes in one-on-one on the other. So both kids in one rotation get to be offense once and defense once. Okay, and it's determined by who wins the race to that puck. So that one might be a little confusing, so just make sure you're kind of clear with how you explain that second puck. Okay, so we're going to do two different one-on-ones there. Again, obviously both would be ideal to have a goalie, but if you don't have two goalies, I would say just figure out something to put in the bottom so that rebounds come back to you. All right, so after we do those two, so that's 40 minutes into practice, 20 minutes of skating, 10 minutes of each of those drills, then we're actually going to do everything as a group. Now, this one we might have to be a little flexible on if we don't have enough coaches, but my ideal would be to have 3 stations going at the same time, but you're only doing it for a total of 10 minutes. So within your side, you're going to basically kind of divide the ice into thirds, and we'll have 3 different nets. It doesn't matter as much about the size of the nets in this case. Put your goalie in whichever one the Mite net's on. Then you're going to put 2 tires, not too far out, but with enough space to skate around. And then a coach is going to be low below the goal line with pucks. The lines will start about the tops of the circles. Okay, and then all 3 groups are doing the same thing. This is a 3-shot drill. So the reason we need 3 stations is because we want to make sure that the kids get through a few times and that they're not standing too much. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do, the player skates down through the tires, and as they come through the tires, coach passes a puck and they take a quick shot. Again, we're continuing to get these kids to focus on catching and shooting. These are not one-timers. They have to catch and release. After they shoot, they're always going to face the coach. Okay, so facing one direction. So we're also working on skating here. They're going to pivot backwards to forwards around one tire. As they come down the middle, coach gives them a second puck and they shoot. After the second puck, they pivot around the other tire backwards, forwards down the middle, third puck, shoot. After they take that third puck, they got to get out of the way right away and the next person goes. Okay, so again, straight down, first shot as they come through, backwards around, forwards through, second puck shot, third one backwards around through. So they're doing a figure 8, always facing one direction, and they get a shot every time they come through the middle. Okay, so all 3 of these will be going at the same time. In theory, we'll have 3 at the other end too, so 6 total, which means we need 6 coaches. If we don't have 6 coaches, we might have to adjust a little bit. If we have a higher end group, we maybe could have a player pass to them, but we'll see what we do. Okay. All right. So that is the next 10 minutes. So all kids are doing that, but that's a 10-minute station. And then finally, we're going to end with not a small game, but it's a full team drill that is basically a 2-on-1, a 3-on-1. Okay, so now this one again, we're going to see how it goes. We might have to be flexible. The way the drill is intended, you put 2 nets on opposite sides. Okay, and put one team here, the other team over here. This is how it's supposed to go, and we can adjust as needed. All right, so if X's start on offense, 2 players have to go behind their net first if they're on offense. And then if the O's are on defense, only 1 is going behind their net. Okay, but they always start by going behind their own net. Coach throws a puck to the 2, and as they pick up that puck, they attack the other way, 1-on-1. Okay, so we're again talking to this defenseman about gapping up and playing backwards. It's a 2-on-1. We also want to be talking to the 2 forwards about reading what that defenseman gives me. Okay, if this defenseman comes at me when I have the puck, we should have someone open over here. We want to get the kids thinking about passing that puck. If nobody comes to me though, okay, so if I have the puck again on this side, I have the puck over here, and that defenseman goes this way, then I should go to the net. Okay, so we're continuing to teach these kids about what they see as they're attacking the net and what that defenseman's doing. Okay, so that is what happens. They attack the net 2-on-1. As soon as that play is done, you blow the whistle. And now here's where we might have to be flexible. In theory, what is supposed to happen, the 2 forwards are supposed to go back to the end of their line. They're done. The defenseman, the one that just played defense, is supposed to go behind their net, and another one is supposed to come here, and then an 1x goes out to play defense. Okay, so you're supposed to go from defense to be an offensive player. I think that might be too much for our kids. So I think what we'll do is on the whistle, we will just have all of the kids come out of the zone. And then the next two will go on offense from here. We should alternate sides though, if possible. And then the next X would come out of here. So they should always go out the same side, whatever side's the front of their line. Okay, so now these two are forwards and this one's D. Let's plan on doing that where we go every other, but we have all three come out of the zone. Okay, now we do have like 15 to 17 kids on our team. So you can imagine that this is going to only be like every 5 shifts if the kids are there, but it should go pretty fast. Okay, so if we're kind of getting through, again, they're going 2-on-1 straight down. So they should be getting to the net. We don't want them to be doing a bunch of dipsy-doodling stuff because we should be attacking the net. Day 2, or if you want towards the end of day 1 and then starting day 2, we're going to switch it to a 3-on-1. Okay, so it's the same drill, same setup, but this time if X's are on offense, 3 kids go behind the net. Now they all have to go behind the net, but make sure you're talking to them about after they go behind the net. We want them to be spreading out. Okay, as they attack this way against the 1-0, same thing. We're talking about what's this defenseman doing, what's open. We also want to then be talking to these kids about making a triangle. Okay, if you're seeing your players come in a straight line like this, that is not a good passing option. Okay, so we want to stagger ourselves a little bit as they're attacking. Okay, so that's kind of the general idea. Again, you guys can be flexible and work with the kids based on where they're at, but I do think the 2-on-1 to start, probably on the whistle, everybody's out, next group goes, and try to run them through fairly fast. We can have one coach running the drill, like in terms of blowing the whistle and dumping the pucks in. Then you'd want one coach in each line, making sure the kids know exactly what they're doing when that whistle goes. And then any extra coaches, you're just coaching the kids up, continuing to get them to think about options. Okay. All right. So that'll be the last 10 minutes of practice. Okay. Because it's kind of small game-ish, I think Saturday and Sunday, we are just going to probably do the drills both days. Partially also, I'm not too worried about getting them game time because the following weekend, our Saturday the 27th ice is only games. Those are the Egan scrimmages. And on Sunday the 28th, we're going to do a shorter practice, and then we're going to play a longer game at the end with everybody. Okay, so because we're focusing the next weekend on games, this weekend we're probably just going to focus more on the skills. And again, the more competition, the bigger picture 2-on-1 and stuff. All right, thank you so much. If you're not going to be there, just let us know so that we can make sure we plan accordingly, and have a great week. Thanks.